welcome back to Reading the List, where we review, discuss, and reimagine popular movie lists objectively. We're your hosts. I'm Jerry.
And I'm Brad. And on this episode, we'll be re-ranking Sports Illustrated's the 50 greatest sports movies of all time.
All right. So we have two lists. The first list is we take those Sports Illustrated 50 and we rated them all on a scale and then re-ranked them. And then our second list, we also watched additional movies that were not on the Sports Illustrated list.
Yeah, just under about 50 more movies, sports movies.
We couldn't get them in all, guys.
There was a lot. There were a lot of sports movies, and we did our best. We really tried to focus on movies that had been released since this list came out. So this list was cultivated in 2003.
Long time ago.
So, that for a curated list, that is pretty long time ago. So we've had basically 2 decades of additional sports movies to watch. We really tried to focus on that. And we also filled in some gaps on stuff that came out, before the list came out, which were kind of head scratchers to us.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we went. There are quite frankly, there are a lot of movies like that would just score right in the middle.
Yeah.
Like right smack dab in the middle, and they're not going to move the needle one way or the other. They don't, some of them are fine movies, but they don't bring anything new a movie that's like already on this list or one that we picked to be on the list.
Yeah, and just know we didn't end up watching Xanadu. That was one that we decided not to watch.
Did someone want us to watch Xanadu? Or
I did.
Why?
Doesn't matter now.
I didn't even have that on the list to watch. This is news to me that we were like even contemplating Xanadu. I thought that maybe like someone like made a comment about Xanadu.
No. I think everybody just wants to watch you watch.
Oh, you were just up in the night.
No. Anyway, so here's the list. It'll be around here somewhere when I edit. Of the top 50 Sports Illustrated, a couple of movements that were interesting. At number 50, they had Best in Show, and it is our number 16.
Yeah.
So that really kind of went way forward, which I think was legitimate. It's a good movie.
Yeah, and then you have the other one I had was Bang the Drum Slowly. They had it at 11, and we re-ranked it to 46.
Yeah, because it's not a good movie.
There were a few head scratchers here from them on this, honestly.
Like, I understand that Robert De Niro was in it, but it's like, not every movie this man made was list-worthy. Sorry, everybody.
Well, it's not that. It's a flawed movie in a
Big
lot of
time.
ways.
I did show that we had Grand Prix. They ranked as number 45, and we ranked it at high. 15.
Yeah.
I was very, very impressed with that movie. I really liked it.
Yeah. I'm curious. I noticed the one thing I did notice on the list is a lot of the you can go back and look at our how we ranked the romance list.
Mm-hmm.
We like old movies. It's not a question of like disliking old movies or not appreciating them or whatever. But I will say, like, one of the strange things is like the older the movie got on this list, the worse it tended to get. Like the early sports movies are not real good.
No, they're not. And honestly, like one of the ratings that we give it is, does it stand the test of time? Maybe it was good at the time it was released. I mean, probably in the 1930s, like maybe some of those movies were ahead of its time, but it just doesn't hold up anymore. So that, we have that ranking in there for that reason.
Yeah, and then another thing that happened several times on this list is I think we both did this, is we questioned whether it was truly a sports movie or not.
Yeah.
Like, to me, just having a sport in the movie doesn't make it a sports movie.
No, it doesn't.
The sport itself must play some key part in either the character or the story, or, you know, hopefully both. And there are some where, you know, remember that foreign movie where he was a...
Oh, yeah, that was weird.
I mean, like...
That was that soccer movie, right?
I mean, like, technically it was, you know, he's, you know, it's a sports movie, but it's not really, like, the sport really doesn't come into play.
The goalie's anxiety at the penalty kick.
It's just a strange, like, it's not a bad film by any means, but, you know, when you're talking about this list,
yeah,
it's off.
Another big, huge jump was Chariots of Fire was number 9, and we ranked it at 26.
It's pretty boring.
It's a pretty boring story.
It really is.
It really is. Just a bunch of white dudes, like, running around. One other kind of jump was the lists. Sports Illustrated had A League of Their Own at 13, and we ranked it at number 2. Yeah.
My personal opinion is it's the best baseball movie that's ever been made.
Yeah.
That is my
really,
true opinion.
Really good.
It's a fantastic film, and like another thing that like kind of elevated movies on the list was, you know, like to really like elevate yourself on this list, you like the sport had to be really relevant, but then like other stuff happening in the movie that's relevant, you know, like, you know, expressing what was happening in society at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And the politics and things like, and people think that, you know, sports maybe doesn't play, sports absolutely plays a part in all of that. You can't talk about the civil rights movement without talking about Jackie Robinson and baseball, you know, integrating the Negro Leagues and stuff like that. You just can't do it. It's just impossible to do it. Sports is often a microcosm of what's happening in society, and I think that especially with like movies that are kind of set in a historical context, to have them talk about what's going on in society is important. No, and there's certainly a place for a movie that's just about the sport and it's just whatever. That has a place.
Oh yeah.
And we didn't knock those movies down because of that.
No, honestly, for overall, it doesn't seem like there was a lot of movement.
Wasn't a ton.
There wasn't a ton,
especially in the middle.
Yeah, there wasn't a ton like on the romance list. There was a lot of movement.
Yeah, there was a lot of movement there, and frankly, I think whoever put this list together had a more cohesive idea of what I'm going to say he simply because some of the movies that are on the list, I think it was a dude.
Well, and it was Sports Illustrated, so.
I mean, there are a lot of female writers for Sports Illustrated as well.
In 2003?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I would say just based on the content of this and where some stuff played out, I'm going to say it's a dude. That's just a guess.
Yeah.
But I would say whoever put this list together had a stronger total cohesive idea than whoever put together that AFI list.
Okay. Do you have anything else on this list in particular?
No.
Okay, let's head on to... Now we'll kind of go over, we'll show you the list of re-ranking we did of the 50 Sports Illustrated picks, and then the 50 movies that we watched incorporated and ranked.
Yeah, so we scored those in addition to scoring all the movies that were on the list. We used the same scoring system for any additional movies we watched. I think we ended up watching 47-ish.
Okay.
Something like that. So a pretty decent number. We had like a side list that had like 200 titles on it, and life happens, folks.
Yeah, life happens. I feel like we've been doing this list for 10 years.
I feel like we've been doing this one longer than the romance list.
Same. I think it was kind of, it's just, I don't know if it's because it's such a niche
I think that's
or
part
something.
Of it.
I don't know. And there was a lot. Let me tell you guys how many boxing movies we watched.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, and they're all depressing. All of them, except for Rocky and Creed.
Yeah.
You know, but man, so depressing, all of them. Then the other night we watched The Wrestler, which was like...
Well, like the last, like probably like 4 or 5 movies we watched were kind of downers.
Yeah.
So we ended the list on watching Foxcatcher.
Oh my
where
God.
The dude gets freaking murdered at the end.
Yeah, like granted, the performances were amazing.
Movie,
it was a great movie. But just like, I just was tired of the sadness.
Yeah. The thing that stood out for me on this list is when we added the new movies in, the top 15 is made up all but one of movies from the original list.
I mean, that's pretty good for Sports Illustrated.
To me, that tells you that the person who put that list together did a pretty good job of picking really good movies.
Yeah, so we picked, we ranked Miracle at number 4, which I find surprising.
And to be fair, that movie came out after this list. So that was the other point I wanted to make, was that only 6 movies that we added to this list were put out prior to this list coming out, which again I think speaks to the choices that were made on this list. Yeah. Like almost every movie that we added came out post 2003. And a couple of them that did were like 2002, so it's reasonable to say that, you know, one, maybe the person had only seen it once. Yeah. And it didn't have time to kind of germinate with them and kind of, you know, build something up. That's one of the problems with doing these lists, is sometimes it takes a little bit of time for a movie to kind of, you know, grab you. Yeah. And sometimes you have to watch movies at different parts of your life. You know, a movie that you saw when you were a kid has a different feel from when you're like a young adult versus when you know, start approaching, God, we're middle-aged.
Let's not talk about it.
So, you know, that kind of thing, your perception of a movie changes over time based on your life experience. Yeah. And I think that happened here a little bit. Yes. But not a ton. So again, I you know, these curated lists are often questionable. I think the person who did this actually did a pretty good job.
Yeah, for sure. Some that stand out that we added to the list and where they ranked was number 50, we have White Man Can't Jump. Number 43, The Sandlot. 41, Bend It Like Beckham. 38, The Natural, which I could not believe was not on their list.
That was a serious head scratcher for me. That movie's actually quite good. Yes. And if you really like dig into like what it's about, there's like a lot of mythological stuff that like actually goes into the movie. There's a lot there. And I don't know who said it. I want to say it was Bob Costas that said it, but it's the best on-screen Babe Ruth, even though he's not called Babe Ruth. Yeah. It's the best on-screen Babe Ruth we've ever seen. So, you know, hats off to Joe Don Baker for his performance. So I forget what the guy's name is. It's on the tip of my tongue. But he's playing Babe Ruth.
Also, we had the first Creed movie came in at 17. We watched all 3 Creed movies, and they're all
really good.
Really good. Equally good. Like, that's pretty rare for sequels, you know? Yeah. So if you get a chance, watch those.
Consistently good.
And then number 15, The Fighter, came in. We have a bunch of other ones. Moneyball at 20. Color of Money at 20.
Yeah, I kind of get why they didn't put Color of Money on there, because they have The Hustler. Mm-hmm. I actually really like watching those as a double feature, because they're very different movies with the same character at different points in his life, and they're vastly different movies in terms of tone. I really like both of them.
Yeah, very good. We even got Talladega Nights in there at 38.
We did,
which is awesome. Yeah, so I think our list is pretty solid. I'll post it, you know, with our video. I'll try to post it on social media, the actual lists, so you could kind of check them out. Yeah, this kind of I feel like this list kind of got away from us. It kind of went on for.
I don't think so. It's just there was just a lot to watch. I mean, we there was stuff going on. We had to slow down, like how fast we were consuming movies. Is basically what happened.
Yeah.
Like life happens, man.
Did Mavericks make it on here?
No, it did not.
It did not. Dang. Sorry, Jerry Butler.
Yeah, he's kind of our guilty pleasure. We just couldn't get Jerry Butler onto the list. Sorry, Jerry.
He's got to do another sports movie. Yeah. We also seem to always have like the same type of movies over and over again. The sports movie. I think there's definitely.
Well, I mean, I think there's there are a few sports that are underrepresented. So.
Oh yeah.
Basketball's underrepresented.
Soccer's
really underrepresented. Although we didn't watch Victory, don't even go there.
Did we get that one movie on here? That one that we really loved about tennis?
I think it did make it.
The Brothers?
I feel like it was pretty close if it didn't.
Oh shoot. That was a good movie.
Yeah, we saw a lot of really interesting movies.
Yeah, we watched the Iron Claw.
Yeah, there was a few that have come out, and I think 3 or 4 that came out in the last year or two that ended up making on the list. But yeah, I think the list was good. The thing I really enjoyed about this particular list is it allowed us to watch some documentaries.
Yes,
which you can't really do with a romance list.
No,
it's not really gonna. You're not really gonna have documentaries. So
yeah.
Yeah, it's been a lot of sports movies. We're really looking forward to moving on to.
I don't think I'm gonna watch a boxing movie for a very long time.
Yeah, if filmmakers, if you're gonna expect us to watch a boxing movie, it better be badass. It's got to be like Rocky or Creed.
It's got to be uplifting and happy at the end. And
I don't want anyone dying. I don't want dementia.
No.
I don't want downtrodden.
I don't want people killing each other at the end because they had a rivalry. I want brothers to get along. Let's just I want rainbow and unicorns in our next boxing movie. Okay. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this journey with us. If you have some comments on our re-ranking of our list, please leave a comment on the video. If you like the video, please hit that like button. And if you want to talk to us directly, please do so at ratingthelist@gmail.com. But I think that's it. Oh, we have one video coming out to explain our next set of lists. So look out for that probably in about a week. Yeah, and I think that's it for now. I'm Jerry.
I'm Brad.
And we're rating the list. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.